In today's episode we are investigating Montenegro. From the heights of the coastline mountains into the deep northern forest. I have 7 top destinations where you can travel when you are here. There is also hidden gems what I found on my journey. And I want to reveal them you, so your trip could be as enjoyable as it is. There is also pros and cons what you should know before you travel here. Now it's time to put the adventure hat on and let's get going. We start our journey from the coastline of Kotor. There is this old fortress, what is also known as San Giovanni's Fortress. It is built in 531, but it wasn't fully ready until 14th century. When you are going to the fortress, you should reserve good sneakers and water bottle, because there is 1350 stairs on top of the fortress. There is the main path, what costs 15 euros. And then there is this hidden path, what gives you free entrance. Yeah, you heard it right. Free entrance. This route is going from the opposite side of the fortress. You can find this route when you are googling Ladder of Kotor. This path is actually rocky road on the top. On the day when I walked there, the temperature was like plus 30. For the northern people like Finns. I was sweating like a Catholic teenager who is clearing the browser history. When I was going from this side, there was also on the way up mountain goats and horse. Then I reached to the window what lead into the fortress. I had succeeded. I took the leap of faith and got into this royal apartment. And I have to say it was worth of every sweat tear what I made. The landscape was breathtaking. And that's why I spent there over an hour just looking the views. But now we are moving on the next destination. And surprise, surprise, it's Kotor. And from this area we get a sneak peek from local life. On this point I want to tell you about public transportation. The local buses are not on time. You have this official site where you can see the schedules, but in many cases I wouldn't trust those timings. The local buses are estimately 2 euros to 5 euros, and they are usually fully crowded. And when I say fully crowded, I mean fully. I have one situation that I can tell from my own experience. There was full bus, full of people, every seat and every standing place was taken. On the last stops of the line there wasn't enough room for people come inside the bus anymore. But after all, if you are traveling shorter trips, it's the cheapest way to travel around. Before I came here, I thought that taxis would be pretty decent priced, but actually they are pretty expensive if you are thinking this country's economy. On September, if you are traveling like 15-20 kilometers, the prices are like 40 euros per taxi. This country has also trains, but I don't have any experience from this side. Of course, there is also scooters. The day rent is like 35 to 40 euros. And then there is rent cars. It's the most convenient way to travel around this country. The day rent for the basic car is like 45 to 60 euros. I rent a car from the Kotor and the rent was like 55 euros per day. So I continued my journey with the car to the northern parts of Montenegro. Around here the driving culture reminds me lots of Italy. It feels that local people have hurry all the time. If you are waiting even a split of the second too long in the lights, they are honking the horns. On the main roads, the speed limit is 80 kilometers per hour, but I think it's fair enough because many areas have these serpentine roads, and the locals are passing by like maniacs. And another chapter is the mountain roads. On those sand roads, there wasn't enough room to pass by the other car. Time to time there was only road widenings, and on these roads there wasn't any traffic barriers. So you can imagine the horrifying feeling what you get when you understand that there is like over 100 meters drop into the canyon. So the question is, would you drive this kind of road? Let me know, comments down below. Because danger is my middle name, I drew these mountain roads. But unfortunately, They didn't take me home. Or they didn't took me into West Virginia. But I found this nice little Easter egg, and it was called Eagle's Nest. But I want to clarify that this place doesn't have dictators. So I highly recommend that you don't bring your Hugo Boss suit when you are coming to dinner here. Unfortunately, I don't have film from this place because there was huge thunderstorm on the evening, but I have to say it was the best dinner what I got from the Montenegro. The restaurant is on the edge of the canyon, so phew, you can really see magnificent views when you are dining. You can also reserve these accommodations from the same company, so high recommendation for that place. And now when we have started to talk about accommodations, of course the price range is pretty wide, but mostly I got an apartment with the own room starting from 20 euros to 60 euros per night. But on the next day, adventure had to keep going, and I was determined to go to the Durmitor National Park and especially see the Black Lake from that area. It's an honor that they have named that lake after me. So obviously I wanted to take time from my busy calendar and visit this beautiful place. You can see this turquoise watercolor what is very soothing. The lake area is pretty small, but actually the depth of this place is 49 meters. There is also a possibility to rent a rowing boat. The rent is 10 euros per hour. And of course, if you are a fisherman, this lake is home for trouts, carps, and perches. There is so many paths what you can hike around this area. Day or night trips depends what route you choose. From lakes to bridges. Tara River Canyon is 1,300 meters deep, what makes it the Europe's deepest canyon. In the World War II, 1942, Yugoslav partisans destroyed one part of the bridge because they wanted to halt advance of the German and Italian forces. The bridge was repaired after war in 1946. And as you can see from the video, on this moment, 2025, the bridge is under major renovation. The objective is expand the lifespan of this bridge by another 80 years. It is the most coolest bridge what I have seen for the while. And of course, I have to mention that there is this zipline what is going across the canyon. So for the daredevils, this is like a great opportunity to see views from the other perspective. Don't you think that there is always a time for another lake? And as usual, the turquoise water is here again. Piva Lake is located on the northwest part of the Montenegro. This individual is a little bit bigger than the little brother. The length of this lake is 45 kilometers and the deepest part is 188 meters. Now it's time to tell about local customer service experiences when I'm distracting you with these beautiful landscapes. First thing what I want to say that local people don't speak English very well. So the communication have to be pretty simple. But if you have to use translator, you should select Serbia because there isn't option for Montenegro. I have to say that local people don't like tourists. I don't want to generalize everybody, but this is my opinion. In many cases, atmosphere was very cold in restaurants and grocery stores. They are only doing the mandatory thing. And in some cases, the waiter doesn't even look in your eyes when you are getting the service. On the start of the holiday, I decided that I don't care about these attitudes. They are similar to every tourist, so it's nothing personal. But after 1.5 weeks, I felt very annoyed about these situations. I changed the experiences with the fellow travelers, and they had a similar feeling about the customer service. So I'm not the only one who is thinking this way. So that would be the one thing what local people could improve. Of course, I have to give a credit for people who were very nice to me when I was traveling here. So this criticism doesn't count everybody. If you have traveled in Montenegro, I would like to hear what kind of experiences you had. Then we have the final crown jewelry. Sveti Stephan. It has been luxurious resort for the Hollywood stars and musicians like Madonna, Sylvester Stallone, Rolling Stones, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and Pamela Anderson. I took a couple of names from the list but was just going and going. This island is very beautiful area, but unfortunately there wasn't an opportunity to go to visit there because it has been closed since 2021 from the public. But I enjoyed the end of the season on the beach area. It was very clean, full of crowd, and the ocean water was very refreshing. This adventure started to be in the end, and now it's time for summary what you all have waited. So we had breathtaking landscapes around the country, in many places low quality customer service, and after the restaurant experience you can get animal therapy from the side of the roads, including cows, goats and sheep. So this was Montenegro. Give it a like and subscribe if you want to see content like this in the near future. And if you have a special place to you from the world, let me know, because I'm always open-minded for the next adventure. Hey, psst! I'm still here. I'm going to stay here for a little longer and eat these delicious blooms from the tree. Don't tell the farmer. And while you're still watching this, you can check these videos out. Peace.